strong Yellowstone volcano magnitude 3.6 earthquake shakes the supervolcano area today. We're going to take a look at the map. This is the caldera that we have here. It's the northwest portion of Wyoming, stretching into Montana and Idaho. And we'll take a look at the map having to do with where the mantle plume comes from that feeds Yellowstone. This is the second largest supervolcano of the world. This is the mantle plume coming from Baja, stretching the eastern part comes in through Utah, south of Salt Lake City, where we had the 5.7 on March 18 and the swarm still continuing. Then it comes up into Yellowstone, then it makes a west turn and is shallow under Idaho, where we had the 6.5 earthquake on March 31st to April 1st, and we still have ongoing quakes there now. Let's take a look at the map to see what's going on, what kind of shaking intensity it had. It shook all of the northeastern part of Yellowstone. And we only are looking at the 2.5 and above, so we don't get all bogged up with all the little earthquakes. But this is the area right here. It's south of the lake. That's Hebgen Lake, this is Yellowstone Lake, and this is the area of the park. And let's take a look. This is, okay, I'll show you where that mantle plume comes from. Baja California. The western part goes under the San Andreas Fault and the Walker Lane Fault System, where we have the Long Valley Caldera and Ridgecrest, and the Nevada volcanic fields and all this. And then just east of the Long Valley Caldera supervolcano, we've had over a month of daily seismic activity right there, whereas of course all this is magma. And Yellowstone, the Long Valley Caldera supervolcano is a very high threat volcano. Now this is the mantle plume going on the eastern side, goes through this way, comes up into Utah. We have 8 volcanoes south of Salt Lake City, Utah, going into Yellowstone, right along the fault line right there, and then turns west into Idaho. Okay, so this is obviously on the fault line where the mantle plume is under that area. Let's go see the shaking. 87 people have reported it, but of course there's hardly anybody living there. This is the shake map. Let's look at the population. Hardly anybody there. The population is basically on the, okay, this is the population around there. Now, the USGS stops the block there, but you can see from the shaking intensity that obviously it's taking up more. This is Hebgen Lake down there, over here. Hold on, let me go into this topography. You can see it better this way. This is the border of Montana, right? Montana is there. This is Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho. There's Idaho. Let's go back to our aerial so we can see things better. Take off the population so we can see a lot better. Okay, this is Crater of the Moon area. The lava flow you can see very distinctly there. And this is the area of the Idaho volcanic activity that we've had. Now, this is Salt Lake over here. You can see basically how close they are when you look at them on the map. Salt Lake, Idaho, and Wyoming. Salt Lake, and all, you can even see the fracture right there. This is the way of the mantle plume. And let's go in more so we can try and see the lake. Where's our lake? There's a lake. You can see the lake, that U-shaped thing is right there. If we take away the intensity, see a little bit better. There it is. That's Yellowstone Lake, and that's Hebgen Lake up there. So obviously, put in the shake intensity, you can see, well, you can take it off so you can see better. Basically, that's Yellowstone Lake, so obviously Yellowstone supervolcano has been shaken by this, as we can see from the shake map intensity. So 3.6 is not small. Now, we were told that because of the 6.5 magnitude in Idaho that we had on March 31st, and the 7.5 magnitude that we had on 2 weeks before that on March 18, 5.7, not 7.5.7 in Salt Lake City, and 6.5 2 weeks later in Idaho, that we would have, according to USGS Yellowstone Volcano Observatory, Mike Poland, the geologist in charge, told us that we would be having earthquakes that would perhaps change the plumbing system of Yellowstone. In other words, the underground water, the geysers, the mud pots, the fumaroles and the springs may change in having change routes or more activity or less activity. So this is a 3.6. Now, that's what's happened today, and it shook all of the supervolcano as we see here. If not even Idaho and Salt Lake. You know, if you extrapolate the shaking intensity, I'm sure that it even was felt in Idaho and Salt Lake. It's not that far away. So all of you there, please be very careful. We do have a lot of visitors visiting Yellowstone. If you see one of the videos before this, they're also tagging, they're capturing the grizzly bears and tagging them for keeping aware of where they are going and how their populations are increasing, because that's what their goal is for the conservation, because they are considered to be an endangered species. So all of you there, please be very careful. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.